back and welcome to my dining room, which you can see is a little mixed up today because we are halfway between decorating for Christmas, but my table is still set for Thanksgiving. And I did that on purpose because I wanted to share with you today one of my tips for decorating in transitioning things and using them for multiple seasons. We are right between my two favorite decorating seasons. I love decorating for fall and I absolutely love decorating for winter and Christmas. But anytime that you can use one piece to do two things with a little minor adaptation, you're saving money and time. And that's what I wanted to talk about today. So behind me we have Christmas, in front of me we have Thanksgiving. And what I decided to use this year was to really focus on succulents. It's one of my favorite plants because it's easy to care for, it's easy to grow, and it's versatile because I can use it for fall right into Christmas. So let's talk a little bit about what I'm going to do. You can see the center of my table here. I made a Yule log, but I made an adaptation by putting succulents and moss on top of it instead of just greens and berries. You can easily take the succulents off of that when we're finished with it, put them in soil, they'll regrow, you can use them again next year, and then you can go ahead and burn your Yule log. And I had some extra pieces of birch, so I used those for pillars and for coasters and for decorating the room as well. But you'll notice the only color that I have here in the dining room is my tablecloth, my napkins, and then the little pumpkins that I put here on the table. And what I'll do is I'll trade those items out for Christmas colors, and we will easily change this table over in a snap. I'll show you how I'm going to do that in just a few minutes. One of my absolute favorite things to do with succulents is to make succulent pumpkins, and that was something taught to me by my friend Angie. And they're really easy to make. You put a little bit of moss on top of a pumpkin, you glue your succulents on top of it, and that's how I decorated this entire table last year. I had a nice row of succulent pumpkins down the middle of the table. Looked great. However, this year I just wanted to change it up a little bit. But the same rule applies. You can put hot glue on the bottom of a piece of a succulent, glue it onto anything, and then you can pop it off. It'll still grow back. In fact, it sometimes grows in spite of the glue, so don't worry at all about whether you're going to damage that or not.
Well, here's a close-up of our table design for Thanksgiving. I raised chickens and love them, so the chickens had to make the table. I tend to keep a more simple design when I design. I don't like glitter and gold and sparkly things, so simple design is better for me, but we still achieved a lot of color and a lot of interest and variety by using the succulents. I'll be publishing a full video on how to put one of these together, starting with taking the log, cutting it down to size, flattening the bottom, drilling some holes in it to make room for the candles. But in the meantime, I just wanted to show you a very fast version of what it looks like to put one of these together. After my log is prepared, I'm going to go ahead and glue the moss on top and just start gluing in pieces of succulent flowers that I've cut. I have trays and trays of these out in my greenhouse to choose from, and I was able to snip a nice variety of size and color. I have some that are center flowers, I have some that are tiny flowers, I have a few that are tall, and then we also have some long trailing pieces. So as you're shopping for succulents, if you want to take on a project like this, look for a nice variety like that of color, texture, and size. After I put these pieces on and we use it throughout the season, I'm going to go ahead and take these off, and I will remove any glue that's on the bottom of the succulent and lay them in dirt, and they will continue to grow. They're very, very easy to regenerate. And we'll be putting another video out very soon of what it means to go ahead and regenerate them and how we get them started. It's about the simplest regrowth process you've ever seen, so I'd be happy to share that with you. After our Yule log is used up for the season and we've removed all the succulents for regrowth, I'm going to go ahead and follow tradition and burn our Yule log in the fire, and then I'm going to be looking for some new ideas for centerpiece for the new year. So if you have something that you'd like to see us do, I'd be happy to take it on. Just let me know in the comments what you're looking for. I'd always love to try something new. So after this is put together, we're just going to head back on inside, and I will show you step by step how I take down the Thanksgiving table and use the same Yule log to put up our Christmas table.
There you have it. We're using a lot of the same pieces, but we've just changed out some of the accessories, and I'll zoom in here in a minute and show you a little bit more. But really, it only took me about 10 minutes to flip this over with some pieces that I already had in the house, utilizing what I had made previously. Come on in closer, we'll take a look. So pretty much everything that you saw in the Thanksgiving setup is still here with the birch logs and the saucers, the candles. Even my table runner is the same. I changed my tablecloth, my napkins, and my charger. And then in here in the center of the table, I removed those little pumpkins that I had. I replaced them with a couple of pine cones and a few pieces of cedar that I cut from trees, just a very few. These will be fine to lay here all season and won't fade or won't get too dry or brittle. And this is a really good time to use artificials. I used some artificial berry picks. I actually used large picks that I broke apart into small pieces to add some berry pieces. This would stain my linen and would definitely look a little cruddy over time. So we decided to go ahead and use artificials in this case. But the succulents will be absolutely fine as they are. And our table is set and ready for Christmas.